Donald Trump actually won the white working class blue collar voter. Some of it's coal, some of it's jobs, some of it's trade, but we have to think too, these are individuals who, my family this is my family. This demo, all my family are Southern Missouri. They're all Ozark voters. They all talk like this.
I was going to say, I just heard it come in on you.
That's how they live, but they are good people, and they were tired of being abused by the Democrat Party. It's amazing to me that this is the demographic that Bill Clinton, that Al Gore, that the Democrat Party of the 1990s, they relied upon these people. They exploited these people for votes. They used these people. They paid them lip service. Now here we are in 2016, and they're struggling. How are we going to pay our bills? We can't afford health care. We can't put food on our table. And you're talking to me about what pronoun I should use? Mm-hmm. You're telling me what bathroom my children should, where my kids can go to the bathroom? That wasn't putting food on the table. This whole conversation about transgender everything and everything going on in the Carolinas, none of that's putting food on these people's tables, and they were done with it.
You raise such a good point, because, and I've done a lot of soul searching. I think a lot of Democrats have too. I've said this before. The problem for my party has become, and I take full responsibility for this myself because I think I've been condescending about it as well, is a lot of Democrats and a lot of people, including me, don't sit around worrying about putting food on the table. We don't sit around. We can go ahead, and I've gone on TV 100 times talking about how great Obamacare is and how wonderful it is and how it's expanding opportunities for healthcare for people. But it's not taking a larger chunk out of my paycheck to the point where I have to decide whether to put food on the table or pay higher premiums. Talking about how the economy is getting better because people's stock market portfolios are getting better. But it's not getting better for a lot of the people, Dana, that you talked about. And I think the problem for the Democrats are they were selling a narrative to their coastal elites, and I take full responsibility for doing that as well. I did it for 2 years before I realized that those coastal elites are completely out of touch with exactly the people, Chris, that you talked about, which are the people
anyway.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I've never been there, but I love them back.
Every time a celebrity talked, I think it was a repellent instead of
the Democrats. They don't get that at all. We try Lena Dunham and even Lady Gaga.
Right.
It's having exactly the opposite effect.
Well,
and
they doubled down on it because these people were good enough to vote for the Clintons, but they're racist because they voted for Trump, and they hear that message. I mean, that's what they heard over and over again.
And they have their power in the voting booth.
And they heard they were deplorable. They heard that they're bitter people who cling to guns and God and don't like people who are like them. And then for all the last 8 years, Barack Obama has been telling them how unemployment is down to record levels. The problem is that the labor participation rate is so low because millions of people have left the workforce because they just gave up looking for jobs. So these people, this is something when you're in the White House and you're writing speeches like I did for Bush, what you say when you're the president has to actually comport with what's happening on the ground. So I could have, in 2006, I could have written speeches about Iraq and said, we're winning, we're turning the battle around, and people saw things blowing up on their cameras and said, no, it's not getting better. It was only when the surge happened that people started listening to those speeches. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing with the economy. When the president steps out and says the economy is getting better, we've got X million jobs created and all the rest, and you're sitting there, and it's not comporting with your reality, you reject it.